tell her story. And it's essentially the Christian/American dream that you can succeed.
To speak our story and to share with others, and just to tell people about the things that God has not only brought us to, but He brought us through, so that we can give others hope and let others know that we do recover.
You're in love with who?
Spencer.
Surely not.
No, we're not.
A whole lot of sports, a whole lot of fun, and the center of the most special place on earth. It's the 10-year celebration of the McMinnville Special Games coming up on this edition of Community Insider. Stay tuned.
Today has been a wonderful day. We have had so many wonderful, amazing, special individuals here. It turned out to be a wonderful event.
Welcome to another edition of Community Insider. Join us as we travel Middle Tennessee, uncovering history and experiencing the adventure of unique stories and events coming to you inside your community.
Welcome to this edition of Community Insider. Jason Perry takes us through the highlights of the 2022 McMinnville Special Games, celebrating 10 years this year. Let's get right into the action and see what all is happening.
I'm with the Cookville Pay Centers. I've been there for 13 years. This is the group from Linda Avenue. Jerry Cherry here, his mother actually started Pay Centers over 50 years ago. This is Champ Pennington. Oh, wait. There you go. Champ's been with us. And over here is Zach Taylor. Working here with the individuals, we get a chance to go out, have a lot of fun with the guys, do a lot of different things. There's a lot of hard work involved, but it's the best job you'll ever do. Thank you very much.
I'm Penny Jordan.
And I'm Donna Wanamaker.
And this is our 10-year going strong. Donna and, which Donna is my mom. Donna and Holly started this 10 years ago, and also Christy. And we have grown so much in this 10 years. We've added on more events, and Horsing Around is one of our big events now. It's an equine program for all of our special needs children. And we have our art program now that we've added on.
We have a pool party day in August.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just one thing. McMinnville Special Games started out as one event 10 years ago with just very few participants, and now it's grown into, 10 years later, 70, 80 participants show up. It takes all of our volunteers and our sponsors. We couldn't do it without you guys. As a parent with a child with special needs, it's a lot to us to know there's a place for our kids to go that can be included and do the same things that typical kids do, but we do it at our own pace, in our own way. So if you don't know about McMinnville Special Games or Horsing Around or any of the events that we have, please join our Facebook page, McMinnville Special Games. There's also a number, I think, on there that you can text to and gives you our automated text about our events coming up. You can contact Holly McBride or myself, and we can give you more information about us. But please, it's for children and adults with special needs, not just here in Warren County. Today we had people from Cookville, from Woodbury, from Smithville. It's about everybody, not just our kids, but we want to include our surrounding communities and counties because not everybody has anything for special people, but we do, and it's growing strong, and we can't do it, like I said, without all of our volunteers. For Jason doing this with us today, for Penny, for David, for Kayla, for Holly, Christy, my husband, all of us guys, it takes us all to make a team. So please come out, support us, join us, or just come see what we do. Horsing Around is the first Saturday in every month. It's on our website page. Come see what we do, check us out, be a part of us.
I'm Holly McBride with McMinnville Special Games, and we are here at the Milner Recreation Center in McMinnville, Tennessee. Today has been a wonderful day. We have had so many wonderful, amazing, special individuals here. It turned out to be a wonderful event. We want to thank the City of McMinnville. We want to thank the Milner Recreation Center. We want to thank all of our sponsors, our volunteers, our parents, our caregivers, and so many other people that reached out and supported this event. It has truly been an amazing day.
Yeah, it's recording.
Hi, Jake.
And now Jake is the cameraman.
All right,
And here
buddy,
we
you're
can
doing great.
zoom in.
Look at you're doing good, buddy. Check it out.
Yeah,
I know,
Like
you're doing great.
A big thank you to all of the volunteers of the McMinnville Special Games, to the leadership, and to everyone who makes it happen each and every day. This isn't just a one-year event, it's throughout the year. Make sure you check out more information about the Special Games basketball, also the Horse and Around program, and of course this takes people who's willing to give. This isn't government funded. This is a nonprofit group that takes big hearts giving to bigger hearts. We hope you've enjoyed this uplifting edition of the spectacular event, McMinnville Special Games celebrating 10 years. We want to thank all the volunteers and thank you for watching. Make sure that you check out their website for more information of how you can help McMinnville Special Games and other wonderful programs, Horse and Around and much more, at www.mcminnvillespecialgames.com. We also want to thank Jason Perry, our reporter today, showing us all the wonderful highlights, and we hope to see you, as we say always, inside your community. From the small towns in our community to the big hearts in our own back door. This is their stories. This is a part of their life shared with you.
My name is Summer Foster DeBow. I am the owner of Roxie's Restaurant. I am the mother of 4 children and 2 grandchildren. My mother was a ceramic shop owner and my father was a truck driver. My grandmother was a big influence in my life. She ran a grocery store here in this very location back in the 70s to about the mid-80s. Whenever her grocery store burnt, she sold the land off, and it was several different businesses over the years, and whenever it was able to come back to where I was able to acquire it, I named it Roxie's after my grandmother. A lot of people know me by the name of Roxie because they associate Roxie, with the restaurant, but my name's Summer, but I answer to both. A lot of people see me in town, they'll be, "Hey, Roxie," and I'll just, "Hey," and wave back, but like I said, I answer to both. Whenever I was born, we lived here in Cannon County for the first 6 years of my life. I went to kindergarten over at Eastside, and then we moved to McMinnville, and I went to Warren County in their school system from 1st grade to 12th grade and graduated in 1995. I had my mother, whenever she ran her ceramic shop, she got sick with cancer, and she ended up passing away whenever I was 13 years old. She passed away, and I ended up trying pot for the first time whenever I was 14 years old. I ran with a lot of the wrong people, got mixed in with the wrong crowds. I had hung out with a lot of older people, and I tried meth for the first time when I was 16 years old. That led to a big spiral in my life. I battled addiction on and off for 20 years, and I have now been in recovery now for 9 years. I just celebrated my 9-year clean date on March 6th of this year, and the Lord's done big things in my life ever since. He brought me out of the darkness and set my feet upon a rock. I moved back here to Cannon County whenever I was 17 years old. My dad, he passed away whenever I was 18, and I've got, like I said, I've got 4 children. After I had my first 2 children, they didn't know me as a sober mother until they were 14 and 16 years old. I missed a lot of ball games, a lot of events, things that I can't get back because of my addiction that I used to be bound to. And it's by God's grace that He brought me out of that bondage and freed me of my addiction. Whenever it was 2013, I ended up going to jail. My best blessing was the fact that I went to jail on March 6th in 2013. After that, I had my best days ahead. I took the time while I was in jail to reconnect with God, and I was actually saved while I was in jail. I always believed in the Lord. He brought me to so many things and brought me through the things that He brought me to, all as part of my journey. And He had you know, he saved me whenever I was in jail. On June the 11th, I was saved, and I got out of jail on July the 11th. And whenever I got out of jail, you know, I hit the ground running, trying to, you know, work my program, do my classes, do everything that I had to do to get my children back. And whenever I was released on community corrections, which is one of the highest levels of probation that you can be released onto. And I'll never forget, whenever I got out of jail, the very first day that I got out, I spent time with my kids and with my family and stuff like that and everything. And the very first night that I was out, I had, after I, you know, went home and I was at home by myself for the very first night, I had this overwhelming feeling come over me, and I almost relapsed. And as I started to get up out of that chair to go, you know, get that drug or, you know, get whatever it was that I was relying on, you know, as a coping mechanism, because I had that such overwhelming feeling, you know, that I had all this stuff ahead of me I had to do. I didn't know how I was going to do it. And I stopped myself. And whenever I stopped myself, I just sat back down in that chair and I prayed and I cried out to God. And I asked the Lord to help me to be successful on my journey, to go with me on my walk, and to help me to get my children back, and just to go with me and give me the strength and to free me of my addictions. And He did. He freed me right at that very moment. He freed me completely of my addiction. And He put me in a position within that first year to where I was able to start my own business here, and I use this business as a platform to share my testimony with others and to tell people what the Lord did for me. And He can do for you what He did for me. And you know, I'd love to take the opportunity, you know, to talk about Jesus, because without Him, I wouldn't be anywhere as to where I am today, because I owe it all to Him. You know, it was nothing that I did, it was all Him. You know, after I prayed about my addiction and everything, and the Lord freed me, you know, I knew that part of my healing was going to be to be brutally honest with my family about the things that I had done in my past, you know, things that I had hidden from them. And I mean, you know, they knew something was up whenever I was in active addiction, but they didn't exactly know what. Whenever I went to jail and that weight was lifted off my shoulders, you know, I knew that if I was going to be successful in this and trust in God and, you know, and be fully honest with myself and with God, that I had to share my story. I had to lay it all out there. And I did, and they accepted me, you know, for the truth and everything that I had done and been through in my past. I worked my program, I completed all my classes, I leveled out on my community corrections within the first 2 years of being on community corrections, which there's 5 levels to. My children was placed back in my home within the first 6 months of me being out of jail, which was quick. They told me that I wouldn't be able to have them back in my home until at least the first 9 months to a year, but I was able to defy the odds and able to get them back in my home. I tried to be the best mother I could, you know. I mean, like I said, my oldest children, they didn't know me as a sober mother until they were 14 and 16 years old. And it was a whole new experience for them as well, you know. Whenever I started my business and everything here, you know, I had one person come to me and tell me, you know, that I would never make it here in a business, that you know, I had a past and I had been to jail and everything, and that was just the old devil speaking, you know. And there's days, you know, whenever you have to say, you know, Satan, get behind me, you know. I mean, Jesus is my Lord. I live for Jesus. He's the one I serve. And you know, here 8 years later, I'm still here running the business, and it's all by the grace of God and all to His glory. You know, I mean, I share my story, I share my testimony as part of my healing in hopes just to help, even if it's just one other person, you know. I do a lot of stuff with recovery. I held good faith, you know. I had strong hope, you know. I just do things as I can here and everything, you know, and the Lord provides. It may be, you know, the last minute or the last dollar, but He's faithful and He always provides for our needs. All we have to do is ask Him. It says, you know, knock and that door shall be open. And, you know, He does. He's the way maker. I mean, He provides. You know, you just have to trust in Him, you know. After during my addiction and everything, I had, hid a lot of things from the, the man that I was with, the father of my little boy. And, I took, and like I said, I laid all that on the table whenever I had gotten out of jail, and we had to rebuild all that trust and everything. He was able to accept me for who I am, and he's seen me at my worst and he's seen me at my best, and we were married. We'll be coming up on our 3rd-year wedding anniversary this September, and he is the person that I truly feel the Lord placed in my life. He has an anointing and a teaching that I've rarely see in other people, and I just feel like our marriage was a union and a blessing from the Lord.
Hi, my name's Andy DeBow. I'm here at my wife's restaurant, Summer. Everybody calls her Roxie because she named the restaurant after her grandmother. And it's been an adventure. It's been a blessing. And the restaurant has brought a lot of people from the community around, and Summer has been able to tell her story. And it's essentially the Christian/American dream, that you can succeed. Her faith in our Creator has increased exponentially. And one of the blessings that we have is that Summer and I, we continue daily, and we're constantly in awe of how things transpire on a daily basis. And you cannot do it without the blessings of God Almighty. And it's really, really simple. There's nothing complex to it. Believe. When Jesus walked this earth, he said, believe. He even asked people how they wanted him to help them. And the first question he would ask, will you believe? So it's simple, believe. Getting back down here on earth, I myself retired from the military. I've also retired from truck driving, about a 40-year career. Military was mostly reserves, National Guard. And tried to explain to the younger people to try and make plans for the future for such a time as this, because you never know how long you're going to live. I stand here now, I may live another 30 years, or I may not be around next year. The point is that you have to take the opportunities that are presented to you every day and make good of them. That is an act of worship to the God of creation.
Our hours are Sunday and Monday, 9 to 3. We are open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 to 6. Friday and Saturday is 8 to 8. We do have live music on Friday nights. We have a pretty good mix of music and everything, and that's usually on Friday nights from 5 to 8, from about 5:30 to about 8 o'clock. So, and we have we do like meat and three. We've got really good burgers. We've got catfish. Catfish is my biggest seller. We do an all-you-can-eat catfish on Friday nights from 4 to 8, but it's also on the meat and three for Friday and Saturday. You may not want all you can eat, and you may just want, just a smaller serving, so we try to offer both. One thing that I heard this morning that it really spoke to me, that I really wanted to say to everybody, it's the saying, when we recover loudly, we keep others from dying quietly. And that's something that we have to be willing to do. We have to be willing to speak our story and to share with others, and just to tell people about the things that God has not only brought us to, but He brought us through, so that we can give others hope and let others know that we do recover.